So, Powerbook 2 Ghost Season 3. What can we expect after we saw Dante Spears being killed by Monet just before Tariq could get his hands on the 2 million, which would have given him enough to leave the game behind for good. So he'll be back working with Monet and the Tejadas. But there are still so many issues for him because Blanca Rodriguez, she's back and she's gonna be gunning for Tariq St. Patrick, especially after Ghost eluded law enforcement for so many seasons on Power. And not to mention, Love is taking over for Cooper Saxe' decision making, so he'll be feeding information from Davis McLean to Jenny Sullivan. But he's also got the issues of Effie, because he doesn't know that Effie was the one who was responsible for Lauren's death. He knows he can't trust Diana, and Braden's no longer at Stansfield. But when it comes to the Tejadas, there is a huge shift in the secrets, because Lorenzo is the one who holds the secret that he killed Zeke. But Diana's not innocent, she definitely has blood on her hands. So we're gonna run through character by character and run through the plots and storylines and what we can expect for Powerbook 2 Ghost Season 3. But let's get into the storylines and start with Tariq St. Patrick, because he's someone who will always be in trouble. His case was just dismissed thanks to the help of Braden taking all the blame for course correct and holding it down while he was being questioned. But Monet's plan was to kill Mecca, and she needed Tariq's help to get the job done. But what didn't help Tariq is, Mecca changed the location of their meeting to his penthouse suite, and although he wiped the cameras around Mecca's apartment, the front lobby camera caught him, and specifically Blanca Rodriguez. Mecca was Blanca Rodriguez's CI, and she's someone who was on a mission in Power to catch James St. Patrick. So now it seems like she's gonna be on a mission to catch Tariq St. Patrick, and something which won't help Tariq's cause is Cooper Saxe being loved up with Jenny Sullivan. He said that he's gonna feed her information, and the conversation that Tariq had in this scene with Saxe was ironically about Dante Spears. Saxe told him that he was a high-level federal informant, and he was the one responsible for the Eastern District opening the case into Ghost. So if it wasn't for Dante Spears, then who knows how the storyline would have played out in Power. Tariq's family may still have been together, or their downfall could have come in the form of Kanan. We'll never know. So now that Dante Spears is dead, pretty much straight after Tariq asked Saxe about him, it's gonna look suspicious. And as Saxe normally does anyway, he'll think that Tariq had something to do with the death. And of course, the photo that Blanca Rodriguez has definitely won't help his case either. But the fallout from Dante's death also means that Tariq is still well and truly in the drug game. Tariq's way out was the 2 million that Dante was gonna wire him in an offshore account. And although Monet said that she'll keep her word and let Tariq live the game, he can't. Because if you actually think about this, she gave him no choice because she killed Mecca before he could send the money to Tariq. And I really do think she knew what she was doing in this moment when she killed Mecca just before Tariq got to the apartment. But what this tells us is, Tariq is looking for a way out of the game already, because he's suffered so many consequences in his short time moving weight. There's been countless of deaths around him, and most recently there was Carrie and now Lauren. And the letter that he wrote to Tasha, he said that he will reunite with her and Yaz, but only when he achieves money and power. But how exactly is he going to achieve this money and power without suffering any further consequences? I think after this case, and finding out that Lauren is dead, he really is slowly starting to realize why Ghost wanted out of the game for so many years. Now, just on the topic of Lauren, I read a lot of comments and theories on how Jenny Sullivan could be playing Cooper Saxe and just feeding him this misinformation just to get him to turn on McLean. But I don't think so. After episode 10, I do believe that Lauren is now dead, because it would go against everything that Effie stands for if she did keep her alive. And this is yet another consequence for Tariq being in the game. And hopefully they do confirm this with a rest in peace sign on Instagram. But let's move on and talk about Effie, because it does seem like she's going to be moving to Stansfield for Season 3, just to be a lot more closer to Tariq. And at the end of Season 2, we really saw a shift in her character, because she really does love Tariq, and it does seem like she'll do anything to keep him safe and out of prison. For example, killing Lauren and making it look like a car crash. But I do think at some point in Season 3, Tariq has to find out the truth, or either put 2 and 2 together about Effie's role in her death. And this will only make their relationship more complicated, which is why I do believe Lauren is now dead. I do see this being a major problem to come between Tariq and Effie. So she's going to be around Stansfield more than Braden, because after what he did in court, he's been pulled from Stansfield and placed right into his dad's hedge fund. And we do have to say, Braden definitely held it down and stayed loyal. He knew that if his brother Trace took the stand, he'd be signing his own death certificate. So Braden stepped up and used his privileged background and his Western name, as well as the immunity that had already been granted to him by Jenny Sullivan, to blow this whole case up by proving that he was the sole person behind course correct, and he also had the documents to prove it. But with Brayden now working at his dad's hedge fund, is this also Tariq's route into the real world of business? Because Brayden, he doesn't want to stop moving weight, he's made that clear. And what he's also made clear is, he's loyal as fuck and he can be trusted. But at some point, I do think Brayden will be the one who comes clean to him about how Effie was the one who took Lauren from him. So this little plot still needs to be addressed between Brayden, Tariq and Effie. But what is interesting though is, Tariq has his suspicions of Kane, which was made clear in this scene in episode 10. But he needs to take a long hard think, because the only two people that he told about Lauren leaving town was Effie and Brayden. And Kanan also did warn him in his hallucination scene. He needs to take a look at the whole board, and sometimes it's the ones closest to you and the ones you love. But one thing Tariq is probably happy about going into season 3 is reuniting Yaz with Tasha. Yaz was Tariq's biggest weakness this season, but with her out the way, nobody can target Yaz to get to Tariq. So this was one happy ending from season 2, and we really can't forget about the phone that Tariq gave Yaz in episode 3. It was hidden in Yaz's big bear that she has. So maybe in season 3, we could actually see Tariq being in regular contact with Tasha after all. But let's talk about the Tejada family storylines, and the main question going into season 3 is, will Monet find out that Lorenzo killed Zeke? This was such a tragic death, because Zeke was actually innocent in all of this. He was caught up in a mixture of Monet's lies, Mecca's deception, and Diana not being able to keep her mouth shut. So there are definitely a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to Zeke's death. But sooner or later I do expect Monet to find out that Lorenzo was the one responsible for his death, and then all hell will break loose with the Tejadas, because I do think some of the relationships are already beyond repair, for example Diana and Monet. So I do think there's going to be an internal war between the Tejadas. And Diana has plenty of blood on her hands. She's the one who exposed the secret. She looked in the bag when she shouldn't have, and gave the info to Lorenzo, which made him deviate from the plan. But also because he has this pride that he should be the one protecting his family, not Monet. Now Diana also messed up with Tariq as well, because Tariq knows that she stole his QR code to access the drugs on the roof. And although Diana was very clever in the way she did this, Tariq will be very wary of Diana from now on, so Diana will have a lot of making up to do in season 3, across the board. But let's talk about Kane and Tariq. And although we saw them working together for the greater good, with them taking out the BSKs, Tariq giving him advice on how to take out Lorenzo, albeit that wasn't the plan, I really don't think these two can work together or trust each other in the long term, because Kane will always have this resentment and bit of jealousy with the way Monet treats Tariq. And I did mention a while ago that not many people on Power Book 2 Ghost know what Tariq is capable of, but Kane found out in episode 10 that he killed his own father, and you could see the difference in Tariq killing Ghost and Kane attempting to kill Lorenzo, albeit that wasn't the plan. Kane found it really difficult to kill his own blood, but it can never be ruled out in the future, because we've seen so many family killings on Power. But on Drew, he is just Ev's death away from losing all humanity, and with Zeke being killed, I think there's going to be questions for a lot of people on campus again, and especially his basketball teammates, which means Detective Whitman will probably pay Ev another visit. And Ev is definitely going to be one of my death predictions for season 3, it's just a matter of who pulls the trigger in my opinion. But elsewhere, is Sax finally signing his death certificate after 8 seasons of Power, with him saying he's ready to inform on Davis McLean. Now we've seen him having a trouble defending all these criminals all season long, because that's not who Cooper Sax is, because he's someone who's always chased justice, but at what cost? So are we about to see Cooper Sax versus Davis McLean in season 3? Now Theo Rowland's storyline will ramp up as well in my opinion, and hopefully we do see him being released from prison, because it would just make McLean's position that much more precarious, because he's the reason why Theo's inside. He's the one that committed the manslaughter, not Theo, and I do wonder, will Cooper Sax find this out and then use this against Davis McLean? And finally, Rashad Tate, who I do have to say, I definitely enjoyed watching him in season 2, but with him getting Rick Sweeney's seat, is this now the beginning of Power Book 5 influence? But that's a rundown character by character, with what we can expect from their storylines and plots, and questions that we need answered in season 3. So drop all your predictions down below, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.